Good morning. I am Cyndi Johnson, Montana Farm Bureau President, and I farm with my husband in the heart of the Golden Triangle of Montana, which is best known for growing the highest quality cereal grains and pulses in the world. Thank you for the opportunity to address this committee this morning. I really appreciate it. This year, drought and high input costs kind of make my future look bleak. Farming is a fuel-intensive endeavor. We rely heavily on diesel and gas and natural gas to produce grain. Diesel for tractors, trucks, and other farm equipment is our primary fuel. In 2020, I purchased 9,000 gallons of dyed diesel for a total of $16,000. In 2021, I purchased 6,000 gallons of diesel for $17,160. This year, about the time of the Ukrainian invasion by Russia, I bought 3,000 gallons of fuel for over $10,000, and my next 3,000 gallons will cost me in excess of $17,000. That's a total of about $28,000 for fuel that I really need to do what I do. Gasoline and diesel costs for the balance of the equipment and the farm autos that don't use dyed diesel were $15,000 in 2020, $17,600 in 2021, and halfway through this production year, they're already at $12,000. Natural gas is also a component of the conventional fertilizer that we use in Montana. In 2020, my fertilizer at a normal rate of application cost $80,000 for the entire spring and fall planting seasons. In 2021, we curtailed the fertilizer application a little bit in the fall due to the price, and the annual bill was about $144,000. So far for spring planting season only, and not every field received fertilizer, my costs are over $65,000, and I have approximately $100,000 more fertilizer to apply for winter wheat planting if I can get fertilizer. All users of fuel, including farming and ranching operations, have had to change the way they store fuel for the future use. Because of recent federal regulations, we've had to pull our tanks out of the ground and create containment facilities and put our tanks above the ground, making them a much easier target for nefarious activity. And while the costs of fuel remain high, I'm really concerned about the people who would rather take advantage of the vulnerability of above ground fuel tanks than spend the extra money at the gas pump. Every single function of farming is dependent on fuel. Rising costs are not something folks in agriculture can pass on to their customer, just like the folks in logging. We receive the current price of our commodities at the time we sell, as established by the markets based on worldwide supply and demand and the geopolitical climate, unfortunately. It doesn't matter what the costs are to produce that high quality grain. An effort to try to ease the pain of fuel costs by creating a tax holiday makes no difference to the people in agriculture. The costs they pay for field diesel don't include taxes, and the balance of taxes that we pay for fuel used in the farming operation is refundable to people in agriculture. The high cost of fuel not only impacts my ability to farm and produce safe and abundant food, it impacts the ability of the truck driver to bring that food to market, or the manufacturer to process, package, and ship it to the grocery stores around the country. Americans are accustomed to low-cost food, as it should be, because we can produce it. But that won't be the case this year and in the future, simply because the fuel costs at every step have increased exponentially. High fuel costs impact food security, cost, and availability.